I was shopping around for the right frame to gift my friends who just got married because I had the cutest photo of them. The FrameBridge website made it so easy to preview options that I slipped in a photo from my trip to Japan for myself too. Now they've got a wonderful memory of their wedding, and I've got a new favorite piece of art in my house. FrameBridge has a curated selection of frame styles and design experts to make it fun and easy to frame what you love for the people you love. Visit framebridge.com or your local FrameBridge store at 1200 Villa Place in Edge Hill to start framing. Today on CityCast Nashville, it's time for our Friday News Roundup. I'm joined by producer Daniel Sumstein and Nashville Scene columnist and CityCast Nashville contributor Nicole Williams. This week, we've got more updates on the main library's reopening, a new push for more license plate readers and ICE agents in town, tips for tax-free weekend, and of course, we'll end on some good news. And hey, after the news, Jim Bartu, the Director of Marketing and Public Relations at the Nashville Zoo, will be joining us for a conversation sponsored by the Nashville Zoo, all about their new Leopard Forest exhibit. So stick around to learn more. It's Friday, July 25th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. We have made it to another Friday.
We've done it.
Hallelujah.
We survived.
And Nicole Williams is here.
Bow, bow, bow.
That's right. For the very first time, Nicole is joining us not to report on Metro Council. Folks at home, y'all know. We've had the pleasure of Nicole reporting live from Metro Council for the past 5 years, providing devoted coverage for us all. But now that you've retired from that, we have you here to just, get your hot take, which I'm really looking forward to.
I love it. I'm so thrilled that I get to keep doing this because it's a blast. So
love it. Well, also, we want to ask, can we get an exclusive on what's up next for you?
Yes, I would be more than happy to provide the exclusive. I know people have been on the edges of their collective seats, waiting with bated breath. What's next for me is I'm looking for a part-time job.
Love it.
Love that.
Everyone's like, I can't wait to see what's next. I'm so excited for you about what's coming in your future. Y'all, I'm literally just burned out of doing Metro Council. And I just want to do one thing and have a steady source of income and have that be the thing that I do. So very exciting. If you have any part-time job opportunities in the data analysis space, just shout out in the comments. Let me know.
That's right. You can email us at nashville@citycast.fm. We are going to get you that job, Nicole.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, again, we're happy to have you here on a not council week because we do have a lot to get into. So let's go for it. First up, it's freaking hot out. Really
Dude,
freaking hot.
It's miserable.
It's too hot.
It is very hot out, but what this makes us worry most about are our unhoused neighbors. So obviously, heat can be deadly for our neighbors living outside. And I saw a post from our good friend Kelly from Open Table on social media, and she just gave some suggestions on what we can do, you at home can do to keep in your cars. You can keep cooling towels, you can keep water or Gatorade, possibly in a cooler, so you can hand out to people, gift cards to fast food restaurants, bus passes for people to cool down and get to where they need to go, or cash, obviously that can help as well. So just little things that we can do to help our neighbors. But also I noticed the Office of Homeless Services announced on social media this week highlighting cooling shelters. So right now it says that there's Nashville Rescue Mission, Room in the Inn, CCF Resource Hub, and City Road Chapel for places to cool down. And we mention this because the downtown library is still closed. And I want to loop that into this discussion of our unhoused individuals because it turns out the library is actually a wonderful place for people to go all day long because it is a central place to cool down. But now that it's closed, where do our unhoused neighbors have to go? So it was hopeful to be opened by July 29th. But library officials say in a press release that a team of restoration experts and engineers advised the library to extend the closure of the downtown location to allow for an independent safety verification experts to conduct a review. So a third party is coming in to give the final safety okay. What are you hearing, Nicole, about this delay?
I mean, it sucks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the central public space downtown where like a large number of people experiencing homelessness exist. And the fact that it's been closed for weeks and will continue to be closed for an indefinite amount of time is such a failure of government, really. It's such a disappointment, not just for people who love to go to the downtown library because there are so many offerings there. Like it is, given that it is the main public library branch, the kind of like records that they have downtown and the archives, all of that you can't find in other libraries in Nashville. There are many nonprofits that set up there on certain days to, provide resources. So not only for library goers for recreation purposes, but also for people who rely on that space to exist in a place that they're not going to be like harassed by, off-duty Tennessee Highway Patrol officers.
Right.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, like you said, Nicole, there's so many resources there for people who aren't just going there to read books. There's a lot of resources for job applications, like federal aid. So thinking about people downtown, that's their closest resource, and they don't have that anymore.
I just feel so sorry for the kids during the summer who were looking forward to seeing the puppet shows and the teachers that had special programming for the summer. It's a real bummer that couldn't take place. On to the next headline. So the Nashville Banner reported this week that the Tennessee Highway Patrol has identified 21 locations in Davidson County where it could install its own license plate readers, according to the documents that they obtained. The proposal comes, as we all know, after a great debate over Metro installing its own camera system, but that has slowed. LPRs are already operational in Davidson County. I do want to note that, including at private parking lots and, of course, in Belle Meade. But, Nicole, I'm so sorry, but I think I have to ask you a Metro Council question because you were there.
It's acceptable. Yeah.
This is all you.
This is all you. So you witnessed, the debate over this issue of surveillance technology these past several years. How do you think this proposed plan is going to go over?
Well, I will say that it doesn't matter how it goes over locally because they don't need our approval to install license plate readers on state roads or highways. One thing that I was just forecasting as I was reading about this was I can totally see local proponents of license plate readers being like, well, we should have just installed them ourselves because then MNPD would have control over them and they would be subject to the quote unquote guardrails that we put in place in legislation that the council passed last term. But I feel like they'd be missing the point with that. So I want to go ahead and get on the defense of that argument. So the state is actually looking at a proposal to install these statewide, not just in Nashville. So sort of along the border of Tennessee and then around some of the major cities like Nashville, Chattanooga, Memphis, Knoxville. Some of those cities already have LPR programs operational, like Memphis, and they're looking to install, or the proposal looks at upwards of 15 locations in Memphis. I also want to highlight these plans are not final. This is not happening tomorrow, maybe not happening at all. We don't know yet. This idea is in its infancy.
Are the same people that voiced their opinion at Metro Council opposed to this kind of technology as enraged right now because of this proposal?
I mean, I haven't heard anything from any council members other than Aaron Evans, the chair of the Public Health and Safety Committee, who was quoted in the banner piece as saying, like, this is disappointing, but not surprising. I wish that we had control over these, et cetera, et cetera. And I've seen like some local activists be upset about these plans, but I think I would say I'm not seeing like a forceful reaction. And hopefully that is because people read the story and saw that like this is just a proposal. And honestly, what good is it going to do to be mad at the state for doing something on state roads? Like, we've got other fish to fry.
Yeah, it feels like it's one of those things like you're going to get mass surveillance and you're going to like it. Like, you have no say. In
Right. So the thing is, like, if Metro had already moved forward with its own countywide program, like, it just means more LPRs. It's not like if Metro did it, the state wouldn't be looking at it, because Metro can't actually install LPRs on state roads without state approval anyway. This is not a situation where we've poked the bear by bucking the trend of like fully succumbing to a mass surveillance state.
Okay. So you get an LPR, you get an LPR. Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh.
This episode of CityCast is sponsored by Babbel. Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start that journey today? You can start speaking a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique that quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. Just one of the 12 languages you can learn with it, including Dutch, French, Italian, which is going to be next for me, Turkish, and Russian. I love the interactive dialogues that Babbel has, which allow me to practice what I've learned right away, and also the speech recognition function, which makes sure I'm getting the pronunciation just right, which honestly, usually I'm not. Also, I love that Babbel's lessons always cover actual things that I talk about in the real world, like food, talking to people I've just met, and also food. Staying motivated to learn a new language has never been easier thanks to real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations. And only 10 to 15 minutes a day on Babbel's mobile app or website. So get talking with Babbel. I want you to learn another language, so I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Well, up next, maybe we're all getting to good news a little early today, but I just want to say that a federal judge has permanently blocked a portion of Tennessee's law that makes it a felony to recruit or transport a minor for seeking out of state abortions without parental consent. The judge agreed with State Representative Afton Bain and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty that the recruit wording violates the First Amendment, and that advising adults or minors on where they can receive out-of-state abortions is federally protected speech. Nicole, do you think that this is the final word on this law?
Of course not, because, of course not, because this is the world we live in. The Attorney General will inevitably appeal the ruling. We're very early on. The law was just passed last year. There was a preliminary injunction, so like a judge preliminarily halted it, and the Attorney General already appealed that ruling to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the federal appeals court that governs Tennessee and surrounding states. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this go all the way to the Supreme Court, because that just seems to be the way that these issues are being handled now. But yeah, I don't expect the Attorney General to take this lying down. But, for now, that portion of the law is blocked.
Daniel, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
Yeah. So I know this happened a week ago, but it's something a lot of folks in this city are talking about. And that is that we had Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem make a stop in Nashville this past Friday to highlight their federal immigration crackdowns. Feels like she's kind of just on a U.S. tour of like Christie and the Ghouls. We'll call her band name. She also harshly criticized Mayor Freddie O'Connell, calling him undeserving of office, and accused local University Belmont of obstructing justice. She also announced plans to increase the presence of ICE agents and immigration judges in Nashville. Just a reminder to our listeners, Nashville is not a sanctuary city, and there's been no evidence from Mayor O'Connell's office suggesting otherwise. Marie, Nicole, do you feel like this is all talk? Is there actually going to be an increase, or is this just the same type of scare tactics that we've heard?
I mean, I think given the fact that ICE received an incredible increase in their budget in the big, beautiful bill that the Congress recently passed, I don't think that this is bluster. Like, I would expect this to be something that happens. But can we just talk for a second about this idea that Freddie doesn't deserve to be in office? Like, nobody deserves to be in office, first of all. Nobody deserves it.
Right.
You ask for people to vote and they vote for you or they don't. Like, nobody was born like, I deserve to be the mayor of Nashville. Secondly, like, the job of the mayor is not to do federal immigration enforcement. It's just not. And Kristi Noem talked about how, like, Freddie doesn't have the backs of ICE officers. Oh, what is he supposed to be doing? Is he supposed to be, like, personally escorting them as they kidnap and disappear residents of the city that he runs? Like, MNPD went to the ICE office in Nashville at the request of the federal government in May, when the, like, initial immigration raids were happening, to help control any protests that might break out. Like, they were there. What does it mean to have the backs of ICE officers other than that? Like, I really don't. I guess we're just supposed to be rolling out the red carpet to masked, like, plainclothes officers who are, like, jumping out of unmarked vans and grabbing people on the streets.
Secret police.
Totally.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Belmont is not a super liberal university.
No, not at all.
They're really not, like, a leftist bastion.
No,
of, like,
historically.
socialism and communism. Like, they're, like, not at all. So the idea that they're doing some sort of large scale defiance of federal law is crazy to me.
Right.
Like, we're just saying things. We're just saying things to say them.
Well, we didn't even want to mention this story, but we do find that it's very important for us to just keep a close eye on the fact that are more ICE agents coming to Nashville. That is something that we do want to keep a close eye on because it affects everybody.
It certainly does. And it is going to be something that the mayor and the, like, city government will have to contend with, despite the fact that it's not their jurisdiction. Like, Freddie's going to continue to be getting pressure from all sides on this.
Yeah. And I think just advice for our listeners, educate yourselves on what to do if you do see these, ICE happenings, know your rights. And yeah, because unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be happening more in our city. So yeah, speaking of educating yourself, Tennessee is launching a first of its kind direct admissions college program in 230 randomly selected high schools across our state. This is going to include several in Davidson County. The new program is called the Tennessee Promise, which basically provides seniors with automated acceptance letters from in-state public and private colleges, along with personalized financial aid estimates. So it seems like the whole goal of this is to kind of cut down on a lot of the red tape that comes along with applying for colleges. It's such a bureaucratic process.
It's so expensive, too. Nobody
so
talks about that. It's so expensive to apply.
Yeah. And transcripts, like, you want your transcript, it's like $100.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. So Tennessee Higher Education Commission Director Stephen Gentile said, "This effort is really about removing barriers and shifting the conversation to make it easier for young people. which is awesome. That's great to hear. As someone who dropped out of college, I can't say that it was for me, but I really think this program could do a lot to really just cut down on that bureaucracy that students face when applying to colleges.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love this. Like, I'm obsessed with this idea. And I will say, I believe that Tennessee fails its young people in a lot of ways. But one thing that Tennessee continues to work on and like get some things right is about getting kids from high school into either colleges or technical schools or community college. Like, and this is just an extension of that. And I'm really excited to see sort of the results of this pilot program, because there is no, if you're a kid at a public high school and you've got like a 3.5 GPA and you're juggling like a lot of other things, there's no reason that in order to get into the University of Tennessee, you should have to go through some sort of like dog and pony show, jump through all these hoops. So I think this is great. I'm excited.
It's that time, Nicole.
Da-da-da-da, good news.
Yes. I'm going to like track an electric guitar solo after that for this at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
let's do
I wonder
it.
how many different keys I have sung this in.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, the first bit of good news I want to share with y'all is the fact that we have some neighborhood shout outs. That's right. If you joined our membership program, CityCast Nashville Neighbors, one of the benefits is that you get to shout out one of your favorite nonprofits or a local business in town. So let's get into it. First one up is from Tom C. He's shouting out Paradiso's Coffee Company. It's located on West End, and Tom says they have great coffee, food, as well as a strong commitment to helping the unhoused find housing and income solutions. Wow, that is amazing. Paradisos. I'm going to check that out. Thank you, Tom. And then from Joyce R., she'd like to shout out I Was Hungry. Joyce says it's a community garden space where all the harvest is donated to local organizations. Oh, I love that. So everybody look up I Was Hungry. And last but not least, we have Lisa B. Lisa shouts out the staff at the Madison Library. She says they provide a safe place for unhoused neighbors and rebuild family villages with each story time. Oh, I love all of these. Tom, Joyce, Lisa, thank you all for writing in and shouting out these amazing places right here in Nashville. Remember, you can join too and shout out your faves at membership.citycast.fm. All right, Daniel, what other good news do we have?
It's tax-free weekend. It's here. And this is a perfect opportunity for folks to load up on those school supplies. All school and art supplies with a purchase price of up to $100 are going to be exempt from taxes, which is awesome. It also includes like computers, clothing, all that fun stuff. And buying online is a great option too, because a lot of local businesses in Davidson County are also offering tax-free shipping. So Marie, Nicole, y'all planning to stimulate the economy at all this weekend? Our thriving economy?
Well, let's go back to that idea of getting a part-time job that I don't have yet. So,
yeah.
Well, I always think of the parents whose kids are about to start school in like a week and a half. School starts again, which is crazy.
I thought school used to start like after Labor Day.
I mean,
like
yes. Now it's just inching closer and closer to
you
July.
Get like a month. You get a month of summer now.
And now you have, if you're in third grade, you have to go to Promising Scholars. It's not fair.
Oh yeah,
it's not fair.
Yeah. We don't do summer anymore.
Right. So I probably won't be participating in tax-free weekend because they're all out there trying to get their school supplies, and I'm just going to let them do their thing, and I'll just stay in my air conditioning this weekend. But more power to them.
You don't need any 3-ring binders or number 2 pencils.
Love a Trapper Keeper. Don't get me started on a trap. Or like, a pencil box. Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
But no.
One other piece of awesome news is the iconic Ernest Tubb record shop that's been on Broadway, it feels like forever, has plans to reopen to the public by the end of 2025. After closing back in 2022, following a 75-year run, a local group, including Tubbs' family, and a group of musicians purchased the brand and physical space. I remember I would pop in there all the time when I first moved to Nashville, and the folks who ran it were always so nice. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like Broadway's become so commercial these days, so it's refreshing to see at least one piece of it being preserved.
Well, we were actually invited to the unveiling of the sign, but it was at 8 a.m. in the morning. So we were all like, oh, well, bless you. Enjoy your...
Yeah, that's a little steep.
A little early for us.
So, like, will they open before the library reopens?
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, man.
Who will win?
Who will win? We'll put some... Well, I'm going to put some money on Ernest.
Yeah,
Record shop. Yeah. Well, I just have to shout out Chris Chamberlain. He caught my eye this week because he wrote an article about his experience at the brand new restaurant Pastis that just opened. Chris Chamberlain has been on our show several times, and I always love chatting with him. But this article is so funny because this man is hysterical. But it just breaks down, how amazing this New York-based restaurant that has now come to Nashville, and it's a French bistro type place, and it's massive. I have yet to go. After reading this article, I still am going to go, but I'm aware of that I need to go early in the day because he was saying how loud it was. And he said that they had bought all the white subway tile in the world for this restaurant. But I like that his honesty. He had trouble making a dinner reservation there. He did say, you have to use sign language in order to communicate because it's so freaking loud in there. He said that his friends were like trying to even make out what song was playing because it was so loud. They couldn't even use Shazam to identify the song playing because it was just so loud in there. I don't like a loud restaurant. I don't like to shout. I like to have a nice quiet conversation over some French fries. That's just me. But who knows? I love it. But again,
you know where you can get a nice quiet conversation? At home.
At home. At your local library. Where you're not supposed to talk. But anyway, I highly recommend people checking that restaurant out and reporting back to us. And then lastly, I just want to say the Tennessean did a great job this week reporting about the fact that Dolly's new hotel is opening soon. Sometime next year. The Song Teller Hotel.
Will it open?
Will it open before
the library?
My bet's on Dolly. But the Song Teller Hotel is going to be opening at 211 Commerce Street. What caught my eye is that they're going to have a 20,000 square foot museum with a hologram of Dolly Parton herself, guiding guests through the story of her life, which is so cool. I mean,
we live in the future.
We do. And I bet there's going to be more holograms of her in the future, too. I'd pay to see a hologram of Dolly Parton singing on stage. That's just me. But also another thing that caught my eye in the article is that they're going to have a rooftop bar, and they're not competing with Broadway's rooftop bar scene. Theirs is going to be a little bit more elevated. It's a air-conditioned speakeasy.
We gotta remove the speakeasy from our lexicon. It's not a speakeasy. Like if you're advertising it, it's not a speakeasy.
Right.
I
it's
agree.
Just a huge
Also,
neon arrow. That's points to.
Just be a bar. That's
just be a bar. Well, listen,
you can just be a bar.
Yeah.
The focus,
it's okay.
The focus will be less on the performance, but more on the handcrafted cocktails and decadent small bites like biscuits and caviar. Because, that's what they were eating in Appalachia.
Decadent small bites.
I love it. Anyway, we're looking forward to that opening next year. And then, this weekend, there's two cool things I wanted to shout out. Nashville Flea Market at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And then the Kindlings Arts Festival is this weekend, which I read on their site. It's new plays, high voltage performance art, and bad stripping.
Oh.
And I'm here for that. I love a bad stripper. So check out.
I want to know what high voltage performance art is.
I think
what are these words? We're just using words.
We're just making up words here. Yep. High voltage. I mean, if I don't get electrocuted while seeing the show, then I
want my money back.
That's what causes the bad stripping.
Being electrocuted.
High voltage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, check it out. Oh, well, this has been fun. I mean, I feel like this episode has had more good news than usual, and it's just because Nicole's back and her birthday is up. And if we're shouting out birthdays, the reason why Whitney Pastrick is not here, our executive producer, she was celebrating a big birthday earlier this week. So shout out to Whitney. Happy birthday.
Happy
we miss
birthday,
you. We
Whitney.
love you. Happy birthday.
She turned 30 years old.
30. She's only 30, folks. It's wild.
Can you believe? I mean, she looks 20.
Right. Exactly.
Double digits.
I can't believe 30.
So happy 30th birthday,
crazy.
Whitney. We love you. And hey, don't go anywhere. In just a second, we've got a quick segment sponsored by the Nashville Zoo. Jim Bartu, the Director of Marketing and Public Relations, is chatting with birthday girl executive producer Whitney Pastrick about their new Leopard Forest exhibit.
Hey y'all, it's Whitney Pastrick live from the Nashville Zoo, and I'm here with our good friend Jim Bartu, the Director of Marketing and Public Relations. Jim, I heard opening day of Leopard Forest was a massive party.
It was a zoo out here. I know. Yeah, 9,100 people showed up for the opening. There were lines through Leopard Forest to be able to see all the different exhibits that you have, and of course the giraffes at the very end, which are a crowd favorite. A lot of people will walk right by the Brazos monkeys, not even realizing that that's the first exhibit that you're going to see. It's right along the pathway. They're right there, and they're sitting there watching you. So you should take a look at them.
They look like Dr. Seuss characters.
They do. Little beard on there, like a little wise old man sitting there studying you, probably judging you.
Probably. Everybody judges me. Well, so the design of this Leopard Forest exhibit is pretty unique. We've got these huge trees in here. Tell us what went into creating this whole immersive experience.
You know, when you want to create a forest, but yet you have all this heavy machinery that needs to get in there and put in the pathways and the pillars and everything else that support all of that stuff, you want to be able to still have these mature trees without killing them, running over the roots, and so on and so forth. And what we've done is we've actually dug up trees. Some of these trees are 60 feet, 70 feet high.
Oh, wow.
We dig them up at a giant root ball, and we move them by crane from one area of the park, and then we drop them in place to be able to make this forest and be able to make this shaded area. And on a day like today, shaded areas are important, right? In Tennessee, shaded areas are very important for us and the animals.
You mentioned some of the species that are in here. Obviously, the Amur leopard, star of the show, Brazos monkeys. You've got some klipspringers, I think, in here as well.
We have klipspringer. We have colobus monkey.
I'm staring at a leopard right now. Holy crap.
I know, she's beautiful,
She's
isn't she?
beautiful.
That's Natasha.
What a good kitty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
And she's been exploring her exhibit for the past week or so. She seems pretty at home.
Can you tell us a little bit about how bringing all these animals here helps with your species survival plan that is part of the zoo's mission?
Right, yeah. So species survival plan, to back up, is an AZA organization that basically tracks which animals are breeding with which, right? It's like a giant, think of it like a giant Noah's Ark, but instead of 2 animals, you may have 2,000 animals. And to get them to breed, to get that genetic diversity to remain diverse, you have to track who's breeding with who. So basically, zoos will apply for SSP to be able to breed animals, and then the SSP, whoever's in charge of that particular one, like for this instance, it would be Amur leopards, those people decide which female and which male are going to be chosen out of the zoos, all the zoos in the country that have these animals, to get put together here at the Nashville Zoo to get together and hopefully breed.
Look at these colobus monkeys. They look like they're already pretty chummy. They got like a cuddle puddle going on up there on the branch.
Like that, kind of that black and white is really striking inside this exhibit with those beautiful white tails
They're
that
like
they have.
skunks with thumbs.
They don't have thumbs.
How do they get around?
They swing. They're swingers.
They're gorgeous. So you've had giraffes before, correct?
Yes.
And now they've been moved into this new habitat.
Actually, they haven't moved at all. They've been in this habitat since the day we closed the habitat. What you need to understand about Nashville, if you've been to the Nashville Zoo and you've been up to see giraffe, you used to take this pathway that kind of went from Festival Field up around a bend and then eventually wound up at Giraffe. And there really wasn't a whole lot in between there. All we've really done is added an additional pathway and 4 new exhibits along the way, and that's what Leopard Forest became.
Well, this is one of the most amazing things to me about the Nashville Zoo is that you come here and you are really transported to a different world, and it's difficult to get your bearings in the middle of South Nashville, and then you come around a corner and you're at the giraffes.
That's right. Yeah, you're kind of making your way down Nolensville Pike with all the strip malls and the used car lots and so on and so forth.
And then there's a giraffe.
You make that turn into the zoo, and all of a sudden it just kind of all drops away, and you're in another part of the world, and every time you walk around a bend at the zoo, you're in another part of the world. You know, this is a great example of that. You're not looking at the giraffe plains here. We're seeing Maasai giraffe wander around in this beautiful shaded environment. We've added in this beautiful stream right next door to that, so you can kind of sit there and enjoy it and relax a little bit. Lots of benches for you to sit in this time, so a huge improvement.
Well, folks, I know there's a new Jurassic Park movie coming out this summer, but why do you need to go see that when you can go see these incredible real live animals right here in your own backyard? Jim, thanks so much for inviting me to hang out with you. And again, y'all, check out nashvillezoo.org/leopard-forest to learn more. We'll have that link for you on our show notes as well, so you're just a click away. Thanks for listening. And Jim, thanks for being part of Nashville.
Thanks for having me.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson. Our executive producer is Whitney Pasterek. Our producer is Daniel Sumstein. And this week, we had the pleasure of working with CityCast producer Lizzie Goldsmith as well. Our Hey Nashville newsletter editor is Margaret Kingsbury. And our theme music is by Prof Jenkins, with additional music by Rosedale from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images and Hip Color, courtesy of EpidemicSound.com. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Toodles.